Hello everybody, Sparkster1701 here, and we're getting ready to conclude our Action Master themed month. We're going to take a look at the Armored Convoy and its driver, Optimus Prime. Of course, this would be the third version of Optimus Prime released in the Generation 1 line. Of course, the original came out in 1984. Then we had the Power Master version that came out in 1987. This one right here, the last one to be released in most of the markets, would come out in 1990 with the other Action Masters, and would be the shortest lived one on the shelves, as it would be off the shelves by 1991. Of course, this is the largest of the Action Master toys available, and fits well with the aesthetic for Optimus Prime, as it is a semi-truck, as he was famously used as his alternate mode. But of course, as we can also see, this one went with the more long-nose style of truck cab, which unfortunately we all know Michael Bay used in his movies, but the less we talk about him, the better. At any rate, let's start off by taking a close-up look at Optimus himself. This figure's a little loose in the knees, at least in the one knee there. It's designed somewhat to be reminiscent more of his animated appearance, but with some slight changes. As we can see here, the chest is done more in a V style than in the solid flat square that the original toy was known for. So it takes some of its design cues more from the Power Master toy, as this was how the chest was done up on the Power Master, and of course the arms were red up at the top, but about at the elbow they went blue. So it's kind of a hodgepodge between the animated version and the more recently made Power Master version. So it's kind of fair in appearance. It could be better, especially when you notice that there are some unpainted details on here, like the smokestacks here at the shoulders, and down here on the leg, the fuel tanks are an unpainted detail. Of course, the upper legs should also have probably been painted, but keeping them totally blue isn't too bad. It just would be nice if there had been just a little more attention to detail. At any rate, let's take a look at his articulation, and it would be standard for the Action Masters. You can turn his head from side to side. Head's kind of stiff on this one. His arms can rotate at the shoulders all the way around. There's a metal bar in it that holds the legs in place, so it allows you to spread the legs apart about so far. You can also bend his leg at the hip about 90 degrees, and you can bend his leg at the knee about 90 degrees. So, pretty roughly standard articulation for the Action Master himself. Now, of course, since he's a vehicle driver, we're supposed to be able to put him inside the vehicle. The vehicle's cab door, the cab hinges up like so. To get Optimus in, we'll raise his arms a little bit, bend him at the hip, and then gently insert him into the cab. That's the problem. The legs are kind of wonky on mine, so it's a little bit of a fight to get him in. There we go. Alright, apparently now that we got him in, we put his arms down at the side. And then close the canopy on top of him. And there we go. Optimus is now ready to roll out. But, of course, as this is a large Action Master vehicle, he can take along a few passengers. We'll start first by detaching the trailer, mainly so that everybody can get a good look at the truck cab itself, especially with Optimus here at the controls. Open it up and straighten him out a little bit. Not an easy feat. There we go. Well, still slid over, but guess we'll have to deal with that. But at any rate, this is the truck cab. Not much to look at, but it is rather bulky and sturdy for a toy. You got removable smokestacks here, and it does have the one gun. This gun does double as Optimus's rifle. And of course, there are a couple of sets of foot pegs here just behind the cab, so we'll stand a couple of Action Masters. Reach over here to the side and we'll grab a couple of Action Masters at random here. Let's see, we got Inferno. And might as well also have Grimlock. As we can show you here, you can just barely make them out. We use Inferno's gun to kind of point out the foot pegs. And we just plug their feet in. Trying to line them up right is the tricky part. But as it turns out, the pegs on here, while they show on the box that you should be able to put guys here, these pegs are a little too big to support an Action Master. So that kind of sucks on that. That will bring in the trailer. Get Grimlock down here out of the way. Yeah, I know the stickers here are upside down. That's the problem with buying a used one, but I wasn't going to pay out the money to get a brand new one that's correct. It's more important I got it complete. That's the important part. Of course, as you can see, the trailer's loaded to bear. There's 4 guns along the sides, and we got a couple of more here in the back. And this time there are smaller foot pegs here on the side. So we'll see if we can get Inferno in this one. There. Well, he doesn't want to play along. But supposedly you should be able to mount guys on there on the sides, but the posts seem to be just a little too large to get a guy to stand in them. So that's kind of a disappointment. But we'll remove their guns. And then they can go riding along in the back. And there we go. They can sit back there at the top of the trailer, and they can man the guns there. And we'll just reconnect it. And there we have it. Again, it would have been nice had some of the figures been able to fit on those plugs, but it's not really anything we're going to argue with at the moment. How well does the thing roll? Surprisingly, it rolls rather well on this smooth surface. Although some of you may have noticed, the middle wheel here on the trailer does not rotate, just due to how it's used in the transformation process. So it's not a broken toy or anything. Plus, of course, the cab is also pretty loose, so it will swivel from side to side, allowing you to simulate turns with it. So at least the toy does roll around pretty good, so it does have that as play value. Alrighty, now we're going to start doing the transformation process, and we're going to start with the truck cab. First thing we have to do is we have to remove the gun from the side here. Wiggle, wiggle. There we go. And they also suggest in the instructions that we open it up and we get Optimus out of the way. Alright, to transform the truck, we take these black pieces here in the back and we fold them out to the side. Or at least get them straight up, like so. Then we're going to reach under the truck and we're going to fold this red piece out into the front, like that. And then now we take the fenders here, the gray pieces at the side, and they will be folded down sideways, like so. And then the smokestacks, you just rotate them down, face the front, like so. And then for the final step, we'll open the cockpit up all the way and fold it to the back, locking it in place. And then, of course, you can mount the gun in the post back here. Then we have what they refer to in the instructions as a VTOL jet. Now, last week I had said that Megatron's tank had a jet throne. So this would basically be the Optimus Prime equivalent, a VTOL fighter. In which, of course, since this is Optimus's truck, we'll just stick him back in. Even quit bending his knee there, bending that one trick knee. He likes to do that on me. I think he's doing it to piss me off. Doing it like that, he won't move. And there are foot pegs back in the back of the cockpit here. So we will try to mount Grimlock in there. Unfortunately, it doesn't look like it's going to work, which is the downside. See what I mean, folks? If it weren't for that, it'd be a better toy. But the plane itself does swoosh pretty good. It'd just be nice if you could mount figures in like you're supposed to be able to do. But my sample doesn't appear to be built that way. What a shame. Now we'll take a look at transforming the trailer, and hopefully we'll have a better job with that. To start with, we grab this red portion here at the back, and we raise it up like so. All the way like that. And then next we're going to take the sides of the trailer, open them up all the way out. And of course we will rotate the wheel so that it faces down to stabilize it. And we'll also raise up this blue portion here. We're going to reach underneath it and fold out these orange barrels. Then we can readjust it like so. And then now you'll take the black guns along the sides, remove them, and remount them on the top. Like so. And then what you have here, folks, is what they refer to as the battlefield headquarters. Which, it's about what you would expect for something like this. It basically serves as a mobile field outpost more than as a permanent headquarters. So, I mean, you got a nice long defensive wall here, plenty of guns on it. You got this large cannon that somebody can man back here. And of course, you've got an elevated turret section here in the back that can pivot to a few different angles. Be nice if it could rotate, but we're probably asking for too much. Well, let's go ahead and man this thing. We'll put Inferno and Grimlock back on it, since they seem to be well suited to sit back here. Now we need somebody to sit in the chair up front. We'll just use mainframe here. Bend him into a sit-down position, and there we go. Mainframe can man the gun. Then we'll get a few other guys here, and we'll line them up along the wall. Pause for a moment, and we'll do that. And there we've got it. There's a little platform back here, a little behind the scenes here. See, little platform along the wall. And it's big enough to support 2 Action Masters on there. You can set them up to look like they're firing their own guns, or they can man the little black cannons. Plus, of course, there's enough of a gap in there for a 3rd guy to hide behind the wall. We've got a similar setup over here at the other wall. So all in all, we got 6 guys lined up here. There's the 7th at the cannon, and 2 more on the turret. So 9 guys riding around on this playset. That's not really a bad thing when you think about it. That's quite a lot of guys, so it kind of redeems itself on that. Of course, if you really wanted to get playful, you could probably find room for more guys to be positioned on here. But at bare minimum, you can fit 9 Action Masters on here, and if you just had a nice wide spot to display the unit, this actually wouldn't look too bad. Now, if only the cannon discharges would fit that come with the Siege toys, if they would fit on these old G1s, you'd be talking about a rather impressive battlefield display. Now let's take a look at the loose parts. I mean, we obviously have Optimus, the figure, as well as the truck and the trailer. Alongside that, we have the gun for Optimus, which the instructions refer to as a photon bazooka. So Optimus goes from his famous ionic blaster to a photon bazooka. Despite the fact that bazookas are considerably obsolete, kind of okay. And we got two of these. These are referred to as Energon exhaust stacks. And of course, you can see they're hollow on the inside. Then next up, we've got two laser cannons, or laser guns as the instructions call them. They appear to have a small hole in the back of them. Let's try something out here while we've got him within reach. Yeah, you can see, Optimus can even use them. Or even for extra fun. Yeah, it won't fit, but you get the general idea. Nice that they work like that. And then, of course, we've got 4 of these black guns, which the instructions refer to as blaster cannons. And, of course, on the opposite side, they are indeed hollow. And there we go, the loose parts for the Armored Convoy. Moving right along now, we'll take a look at his instructions. As you can see on the first page, they use the VTOL jet. And on the second, they go with the battlefield headquarters. And we got all the parts. And then we set up how to turn him in, how to build the convoy fully. Of course, the cannon should have been on the sides. I mounted them on the top. I guess in the long run, it really doesn't matter. And of course, here shows you the only way to put the guys in. Have guys in the back, and you can put guy in there, in the truck. Of course, they call the one vehicle, a space jet. Of course, since Optimus doesn't need to breathe, I guess he can fly this thing in space. And then how to make the battlefield headquarters. Complete with the large cannon, which they call in here a galactic pulverizer gun. Seriously? Of course, they recommend putting Optimus there at the control panel for the gun, but in reality, you can put whoever you want back there. And then you get all these stickers to put on, including a pair of Autobot symbols or whatever on Optimus's shoulders. Mine, unfortunately, does not have them. And then, of course, at the end, how to read your tech spec and save your robot points. Despite the fact that by 1990, there were no longer any mail-away offers. Alright, now just like with Megatron last week, we have the box. The box seems to promise a lot of adventure. Just unfortunately, the toy doesn't live up to it. So as you can see, we've got Rad, and I'm guessing that other one is Kickoff, able to stand behind the cab. And as you saw in my sample, they would not do that. Then on the back, you got Bumblebee and Jazz sitting on the one platform. And again, as you saw from my sample, they wouldn't do that either. Which is kind of a darn shame, but what can you do about it? Of course, they also seem to refer to that the convoy becomes the battlefield headquarters. No mention of the space jet. And of course, here at the top of the box, you get the breakdown of the two toys together. You get a large view of the toy at the bottom. And of course, it lists all of the pieces. They seem to refer to the exhaust pipes as two stack pipes instead of Energon exhaust pipes. And of course, the side, we got the same thing. Of course, on this side, we have the price sticker from Toys R Us, and it looks like this toy sold for $30 back in the day. On the back, we've got a large version of the mural. This would be the biggest version of the mural released. And of course, their story. And we would have the power plans here for Optimus Prime. And again, I have no idea where they come up with all this stuff. On the opposite end, we have his robot points. He was worth 4 points, and the barcode. And we go down here to his tech spec. It's listed, it has him listed as an Autobot, and it uses a variation of the picture that's used here in the corner of the front of the box. It gives his name as Optimus Prime, and his function is Autobot Commander. And his motto is, freedom is the right of all sentient beings. So it's nice to see they didn't change any of it for Optimus. Philosopher, scholar, soldier, leader. Optimus Prime is all this and more. To peace-loving beings across the galaxy, he is the living symbol of freedom. A true beacon of hope that shines against the forces of darkness. To his followers, Optimus Prime represents a bottomless well from which they draw courage and strength. And to the evil Decepticons, he is the hero in the universe who can shatter their dreams of conquest. He drives the Armored Convoy, a trailer truck with communications, fueling, and offensive capabilities. It divides into an interceptor shuttle and fortified battle headquarters equipped with a multitude of defense weaponry, including heat-seeking ballistic buzz bombs, a long-range photon cannon, rapid-fire disintegration laser, and double-barreled pom-pom cannons. Now, of course, none of the instructions pointed out any of this stuff, so where is all this stuff hiding on here? Now we move over here to the tech spec, and we'll take a look at what it has. It gives his strength and his intelligence as 10s, his speed is 7, his endurance, rank, and courage are 10, his firepower is 9, and his skill is 10. So, Optimus is truly one of the strongest Autobots out there, and probably the best at what he does. But of course, If you're a longtime Transformer fan, you already knew that. Now we get down to my thoughts. What do I think of the Armored Convoy? Well, truth be told, especially after giving this toy a really good play over here on the channel, I was originally going to put this thing in the top tier. But seeing as mine has shortcomings where the figures won't fit on the posts, I've decided this is more of a middle tier toy. Just because of the fact that it really loses out with the fact that you can't mount the figures onto anything. And that's a real disappointment. That was a lot of fun to be able to do that with the tank from Megatron. At least we were able to mount a guy on the back of the tank to be able to man the turret. We can't even do that for the space jet gunner's seat. So by it not being able to do that, we lose a lot of the play value. But if you can look beyond that, all in all, it really isn't that bad of a toy, considering. I mean, the truck here, yeah, it looks kind of stupid, but it isn't all that bad. It is a rather tough and durable toy, so it will hold up well. As for its two alternate modes, the space jet mode, it's not bad. It'd just be nice if you could get a guy to stay in the gunner's seat. If it could overcome that little problem, it'd be a perfect little toy. The headquarters itself, that's not bad either. Makes a nice display piece if you can find something big enough to hold it. You can, as you saw, you can get at least 9 Action Master guys standing around it. So, if you do collect the Action Masters, this thing would definitely make a nice display piece to put them around. It's just, unfortunately, when it's in this mode, you can only really get 3 guys to stay on it. And when the fact that Megatron's tank, while considerably smaller, could hold 4 guys in its tank mode, compared to 3 with this bigger and somewhat more elaborate toy, you begin to see where I'm going with this, folks. It just seems that whoever chose these size for the foot pegs really did a bad job. And Hasbro's known for the foot pegs since the G.I. Joe toys used a lot of foot pegs on their vehicles. Getting to the point where many of their vehicles had a ridiculous number of foot pegs on the outside of the vehicle for the figures to ride on. It was getting to the point on some of the vehicles where it seemed to be they were looking for excuses to put foot pegs on, even though on an actual military vehicle, nobody'd want to ride in that spot. So this just kind of comes off as a step backward in their thinking. So in the long run, I'm definitely going to keep with my decision and go with the middle tier on it, folks. And that concludes my review of the Armored Convoy and Optimus Prime Action Master. If you like the video, please leave me a thumbs up here on YouTube. Don't forget as well, if you're new to the channel, hit that subscribe button down below and ring the bell so you'll be notified when new videos get posted. Please also share your thoughts about the Armored Convoy and Optimus Prime in general in the comments section down below. This is Sparkster1701 saying we're finally done with the Action Master month. Next month we'll pick something else. We'll pick a different guy to kick it off with and get started on there. But before I go, I want to thank all of my viewers out there that have stood by and supported me all this time and give a good shout out to all the new subscribers who, despite their feelings of the Action Masters, have joined up on this channel. I salute you, my new friends, and I'll catch you all later.